Excuse my wrinkled shirt, and I'll let you in on a little secret. This is water. Welcome to the first episode of I guess you would call podcast that I'd like to name Udderly Insane. We're going to talk about a bunch of different things, animal related, farm related, horse related, cow related, whatever you guys want to hear, we can talk about. So we're filming this podcast in my newly built cattle barn. My dad built this barn for me, actually. I decorated it. So everything you see behind me right now, I decorated. I got the whiteboard. I've got a bunch of pictures. If you're wondering, if you see the letter C a lot, that is because it is the name of my cattle company, Constellation Cattle Co. or Constellation Cattle Company. And so I put the C there. This is a neon sign. I don't have the lights on right now. I have pretty good lighting in here, so we don't need them. But if I was to ever film later in the day or at night, we would. And you would see that they are super bright LED lights that we put up. So the new barn is obviously for the cows, but I'd also like to use it for podcast purpose. Now, the cows, I brought my cow Pinky in here before. It went great. And then I have to bring my cow Blair in here as well. And hopefully I can record that and show you guys how that's going. Blair's pretty good. Pinky's very good too. Pinky's just really big, so sometimes walking her is a little bit of a hassle because if she does decide to pull, you're getting dragged down. So yeah, at the end of this, maybe I'll do a quick video of what everything looks like in here. On my YouTube shorts, I posted about it, and as well as on my Instagram and my TikTok. All those videos are up on there. So if you guys want to check it out, you can. TikTok handle is bella.josephine with 3 E's. And then Instagram is bella_Josephine with 2 E's at the end. So if you guys want to check out my TikTok and Instagram, that'd be absolutely great and amazing. Obviously, don't feel obligated to, but I post similar content on there, just in shorter form, I would say. Like some of my reels on here, you'll see on my TikTok page as well. Instagram, I don't keep up with Instagram as much. I still post, but just not a ton. So if you want to check out any of those platforms, usernames are right here. There's probably a glare. My head is probably in the way. I don't know. Like I said, this is my first episode, so I guess it will be trial and error, and we'll figure out how this all works out. See if I need to position my mic differently or how that's gonna work. But yeah, I'm really hoping to get this episode out today. So catch you guys up on things. You guys know my horse Addie. We've been working with her. I've been working with her with my dad very consistently. I've been riding her, but just recently we've had a few bumps in the road. So thinking of starting from ground zero again and teaching her patience all over and things like that, trailer loading, just getting her through a few things that are definitely necessary when you have a horse. She's a very hard horse to work with, I will say. I spent all day yesterday basically crying because there are days you feel so defeated with animals. I've cried over probably every one of my horses and every one of my cows. It can be a very defeating thing when you put so much time and work, effort, and even just money into these animals, and you're just not seeing the results that you want to. Now, I feel like it's really easy to be behind a screen and say things, but when you are working with this specific horse every day of your life, it definitely can get relentless, tiring, and it just feels like you're never going to get anywhere. And that's kind of where I was with Addie yesterday. She decided to pick up this kicking behavior. So I'll kind of go through it without going too into crazy detail about it. But I've had Addie since she was a yearling. So Addie was fairly young when I got her. She will be 7 in April. So she's like 5 years, 5 months. Or 6 years, 6 months. Not bad. 6 years, 6 months. So she'll be 7 in April. I expect a little bit more patience from her, for sure. And I expect a level of respect from her. I've had her for so long. I've worked with her so much, but she is a very dominant horse. She is out with an entire herd of mares, and very rarely are you going to see her come in with any nick or bite mark. That is because she rules the field. And oftentimes she treats me like a horse out in the paddock. And she thinks biting me or kicking me is the answer because she wants to overpower me. Now, before anybody says anything, I don't even owe this to, I don't owe anybody this explanation, but she is in 100% good health. And yes, I know that for a fact. Everything's fine. She's just dominant. She doesn't bite 40% of the time, let's just say. The other percent of the time, if I take her out of the stall and it's around feeding time, or she just came inside, or she just doesn't feel like coming out that day, she's going to be a jerk. And that dominant, jerky behavior can turn dangerous very fast when you're working with a 1,000-pound animal. So running it back to 2 days ago, I took her out of the stall. Everything was fine. Brushed her. Picked her feet. She was good. She was good. She was good. I went to tack her up. Now, maybe she wasn't being expecting to be ridden that day. I don't know. And she decided to bite at me. I don't hit her on the face or anything. I don't want my horse to become head shy. I either back her up or I play with her tongue a little bit because it makes her a little uncomfortable, but it doesn't hurt her. And it's been working. So I pushed her over away from me because I don't want to be bit, period. And I pushed her away from me. She took that as I'm pushing her away. I'm trying to establish maybe dominance with her. She wasn't having it, and she said, "No way, Jose, like, you are not telling me what to do." And she fired 2 double barrel kicks at the side wall where my tacker met. Fired up the wall violently towards me. I was able to get out of the way. And I went about my bit. After that, I did back her up, went about my business, finished hacking her up, took her to the ring, lunched her. Okay. Yesterday, my dad was working with her feet, and she tried to turn around and bite him while he had her foot picked up. That's dangerous if an animal is trying to bite you while your back is turned on them. And this is the weird thing. She's never like this with my dad. She is normally extremely forgiving to my dad. Like, he has established trust and boundaries with her more than I have. So I've never seen her do any of the things with him as she does with me, which is because I probably lack that, like, persona. And same thing. She tried to bite him. He pushed her away a little bit, like, get away from me. Don't bite me on the back. Ouch, that's gonna hurt. And she decided to do the same thing and fired a few double barrel kicks right back into the wall again, and same thing, pointed directly at us. And she's athletic, so this horse can turn her body almost on a 90-degree angle on the cross ties. I mean, she's short coupled, long legged, athletic, is super bendy. Like, when I ride her, you know how people tell you to break your horse over into a circle to get him to move and keep him moving? She can literally turn her head all the way around to the side and look backwards like this, just standing out in the ring. So she's a little bit tougher to work with because of things like that, but she could really, 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 really hurt you if she wanted to. Not even if she wanted to, because she didn't want to. We just got out of the way. But I was out in the ring and that happened. The only thing that really saved us there was the frost eyes. So anyway, she did the kick again, and like I said, I'm not going to get into too much detail about it because I'm still extremely upset. But at that moment, I just felt like at such a loss. Like it's just never going to come out the other side. And that may be the case, but that may not be. So I woke up today. Today's a new day. I'm going to try to keep working with her. I'm going to try to keep going. I'm going to see what I can get done by starting from ground zero. So I'm going to start doing, patience work, more groundwork. And I'm going to just establish a certain presence with her that makes her think that I'm just a little bit above her, because it's not safe when a horse treats a human like a horse, because we're not a horse. So I'm hoping that works. It's extremely, extremely difficult to even talk about. Like I said, I spent all day crying, and that's not going to get me anywhere. So I'm done crying about it. I'm done feeling defeated, and I'm going to go into this head on with a mission to get this figured out. And I'm going to approach it like we can figure this out. I'm not going to approach it in a way of, maybe this isn't going to work, maybe it is, maybe it's not, I don't know, I don't think I can do it. I'm going to approach it with, I can do this, we're going to get this done, and we're going to get it done right, and we're going to nip this in the bud now. Because I can't have somebody getting hurt, right? We own a boarding facility. I can't have somebody coming up behind her and possibly getting nailed. I can't do that. I always think about the greater picture, and I don't just think about me, I'd like to say. Although I think keeping her, some people might look at it as a selfish decision, but in the back of my mind, I do worry about other people, and I don't want to see other people get hurt. Especially somebody that's not, nobody's asking to work with or be around a nasty mare. So I'm gonna try to figure this out. I'm gonna do the best I can to get this solved. So I'll keep you guys updated in the process. I'm gonna try my hardest to film everything so I can see her improvements on video. I can see regression on video. It's very good to have everything on video because I'm able to watch week to week or day to day and say, okay, this is where we were last week, this is where we are now. Are there any improvements, or is she doing the same thing? So we'll see what happens. Knock on wood, everything is going to be just fine and dandy. I'm praying that it is, but you never know. Things might come out the other side. They're either going to come out to a pot of gold, or they're going to come out in the sewer, and we're going to have to see where it goes. All right. Like I said, I'll keep you guys updated as much as I can. And yeah, just keep me in your thoughts during this time. But I mean, I don't know. She's made great improvements since when she was a year ago to now, but I'd like to see a little bit more improvement than what I'm seeing. I understand she's 6 and warm bloods take a long time to mature and this, that, and the other thing. That's what people tell me. I understand that, but that doesn't excuse kicking or trying to literally kill somebody. Okay? I believe she knows what she's doing. And if she does know what she's doing and she's still choosing to do it, not good. Not good, not good, not good. So, for the sake of everybody around me, we're gonna sort this out so she's a safe horse to be around, hopefully. What else can we talk about while we're here? So, talk about plans with all of my animals. Emma and Squeak, my 2 cows, are going to be just pets for right now. Emma's old. She's like 12. She's just a pet, basically. Squeak is a steer. He's actually Emma's calf from 9 years ago that I ended up keeping because I didn't want to see him shipped off at the time. So I ended up keeping him. She had another calf who I no longer own. He went somewhere a while ago. So that was Nugget. I think I have videos on it of him as well on like my Instagram. Nugget is no longer here. Squeak and Emma are still here. Pinky and Blair are my two beef cows. Pinky, I'm hoping to get bred very soon. Blair is supposed to be bred. We AI'd her at my county fair. That didn't stick, which I could understand why, because the fair is a little stressful for animals, like environment-wise. So it didn't stick. That's fine. So I had the guy that AIs my cows come out, and he AI'd her again. Fingers crossed, she's pregnant. Mid-December, I'm going to have a vet come out and do a preg check. So we'll see if that is going to be a yes or no. I'm nervous because if she is not pregnant, I don't have a calf to show at the fair. Or any animal to show at the fair for that matter. So, fingers crossed. But, I'm just going to go on the side of, like, being hopeful for that and saying she is pregnant. Maybe if I say it, she will be. So, hopefully she's pregnant. Hopefully it's a heifer. I didn't do sexed semen. This is going to be her first calf. So, not super worried about quality, right now. Just, that she has an easy counting and everything. So, I'd like to, hopefully she has a nice calf. But I just like to see her have an easy calving process, healthy calf. She stays healthy and everything goes well. And then her next calf can be a nice show calf. But hopefully that all works out. She is bred to a nice show bull, but he's on a lot smaller side, so she has a small calf. She's a Sim Angus, so she's already on the smaller side. She takes the kind of body structure of that, so she's a little on the small side. She's a little Angusy, but you can also see a little Semitol in there, like with her body shape. But yeah, she's pretty. She's a great calf, or a great heifer to have, but just I get nervous during this time because you never know how the calving process is going to go. It helps that I live right here and not in this barn, but my house is out there and her paddock's right out there. So I'm very close to her. So if anything was to go wrong, I'm right here. But yeah, I think Pinky will throw a very, very nice calf. She's a maintainer, mostly main Anjou. So she is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful animal. Pinky cleaned up at the fair when I brought her to the fair. So I'm very, very, very happy with her. And I think she'll have a really nice calf. The only thing is they're known for having a harder calving process. So definitely going to breed her to something extremely small for her first time. Make sure everything goes easy and good for her, because Pinky's like my prized possession of a cow. I got her from SC Online Sales. I bought her from their family name is Maddox, the Maddox cattle sale. So they are in PA. I'm in New York. Drove out there, picked her up. Well, I bid on her. Drove out there, picked her up, brought her home. That was 3 years ago. So she's a great animal, beautiful animal. And I think she'll have beautiful calves. So I'm very excited for Pinky to have a calf. Excited for Blair to have a calf, of course, but Pinky is definitely like one I'm extremely excited for, to see what that calf looks like. I'm very partial to big, bulky cattle, short legs, stocky. That's beautiful to me. So that's exactly what she is. So fingers crossed she has a calf too, and it comes out okay and everything goes good. So that's the my next like project would be calving and everything. Oh, so scary. Course plans, like I said, Daddy's starting from ground zero. Chocolate, I'm going to start working and cracking down on barrels with him because I'd like to be able to go to a barrel race. Crafty, my old man is pretty much retired at this point, but I think I might take him on a few trail rides before like it starts getting super cold and snowy and this and the other thing. So I do want to take him on a few trail rides, and out like the leaves are all changing and everything. It's beautiful out. He's gonna love it. He loves trail rides, so we're definitely gonna do that. Rock salt, I've been riding rock salt, but that's a completely different frustration. I don't know if we want to get into that or not, but rock salt is so lazy. Okay, he's an off the track thoroughbred. He sold for so much money and never really raced for anybody. And now that I have him, he doesn't even want to walk around for anybody. So I don't know. You can lunge him. He moves on the lunge. He trot canters around on the lunge. The second I get on his back, the horse is just like he stops. He pulls the reins out of my hand. This, that, and the other thing. So I have another horse too that is going down to groundwork. Rock salt's going to be brought back to groundwork. And I haven't worked him in a long time. He died and I got put on the back burner, so that's also part of the problem. When I got Addie, he got kind of put a little bit on the back burner, so we're going to start again, start from ground zero. Same things, patience, this, that, and the other thing. Even though he doesn't really need patience, he's great. It's just the riding aspect. But for Addie and Rock Salt both, I'd like to do 2 months, consistently 2 months, of patience, groundwork, the whole 9 yards, until I see an improvement. And when I see an improvement, we can start worrying about backing, because no point in getting on your horse's back if they don't know much on the ground, because they're going to do the same stuff on the ground when you're on their back that they do on the ground, and there's no point in me getting it killed for that. So yeah, we're gonna work both of them, similar regiments. Just start from the beginning. Yay me. So if you're hearing me correctly, I only really have one horse to ride, which will be Chocolate. But that's fine. Groundwork. My dad just bought a horse. If you watch my Meet the Horses video, you'll see this little Pete horse named Kamali. It's gelding. He's a gelding. Kamali, gelding. I sometimes call him a she because Kamali just kind of reminds me of a little bit more of a girly name, but I personally like the name, so we kept it. He's a little paint pony. Kind of pony. I haven't put a stick on him yet, but I'm going to assume he's like 14.3, so he's just making the cusp of being a horse. But he's really cute. He's very nice. A little bit spooky, but my dad's been working on him with it. So maybe in the meantime, while which I'm upset about, extremely upset about, that I don't really have a horse to ride besides Chocolate. Maybe I'll see if my dad will let me get on Kamali, so I have something to kind of do in the meantime. Because I just feel like right now I'm like drowning. It almost feels like, if that makes sense, in horses to do groundwork with. And it's not all about riding for me. Not big. I don't go to competitions or anything. I pretty much ride for fun, but that's the whole point. Like, I ride for fun. And the horses that just keep throwing extreme curveballs at me, it's not even like, oh, we need to work on this a little bit. Oh, we need to work on this a little bit. Oh, now we got to work on this. Like, it's fine. But when you start double barrel kicking the side wall of my barn, and I have another horse that doesn't want to move away from the mounting block, without putting up a giant argument or trying to put me through a giant argument before he does it, those are like curveballs that are just kind of like, back to the beginning. Back to the beginning. We should have been at the end by now. The story should have been written. It says like the end in my story about like 500 times. And then the next page is psych. It's not the end. So every time I think of like almost there, I'm like dragging myself to the finish line. I'm like, we're almost there. We're almost there. It's like, no, you're not. This is a 900-page book and you're on page 10. So that's what it feels like sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. But I'm sure everybody feels like that at some point. It's having animals is defeating, and it's constant work. You're never like where you fully want to be. I guess unless you're maybe in the Olympics, but you're never where you fully want to be. And like I said, I just ride for fun. I can't even imagine the people that like seriously compete and deal with this stuff. Oh my god. Imagine like trying to solve all these problems and you got a show in 2 days. Oh fuck. I couldn't ever. So my goal with Addie would be to eventually compete, but that looks like I might be married, kids, a house, mortgage, gray hair starting on my head before that starts. But we just remain hopeful, as you can tell. I'm remaining very hopeful. Not really. That's another thing. That's another new thing. I'm engaged. I think I mentioned it in passing in videos. I really don't know. I definitely have. I mentioned it in passing in videos, but I am engaged. I don't know if my fiance's ever been in any of my videos, but he records most of my videos. Right now, you guys are on a tripod. But most videos that I record are recorded by him. So the more you know. He had an idea to do a video where I let him tack up my horses, Western and English, to see how good he does, because he actually doesn't know. So I thought that would be a pretty cool video. He's just seen me do it. So I don't know. Maybe we'll make that as my next video. That is a good suggestion. We're thinking about getting married in September 2027. So we have a little bit, but we have been looking at some venues. I've been doing some planning because, like, it's easy for me to come up with what type of theme I want for my wedding. It's just, rustic, farmhousey kind of country wedded theme. That's what I would hope for. So I've been picking out like colors that I like and this, that, and the other thing. We're looking at, like I said, venues. We have a tour for a venue coming up at a cow farm converted wedding venue. So they still have cows there, but they live outside. They're like dry cows or heifers or whatever. And they converted the barn. It still has everything in it. It still has the floor. It has everything. But they converted it into a wedding venue. So it has like lights and they cleaned it up and it's beautiful. And it's like my dream wedding venue. But every time I look at a wedding venue, they are like $40,000. And I don't have $40,000 in case you guys were wondering. So I don't know what we're gonna do about that. We will see. If I can make this venue work somehow, some way, I'm 100% going to this venue. No doubt about it. There is another venue, okay? It's not super local though. That's the problem. I don't want people to have to travel 2 hours to go to my wedding. Like, I don't want to be like, come to my wedding, watch me get married, give me money as a gift, and then also you got to stay in a hotel overnight and pay for that. I don't want to do that to people. So I think I'm going to try to stay local. So this one venue that I'm looking at, the cow farm venue, it's only like 30 minutes away. Perfect. I think perfect. But the other wedding venue that I'm talking about is a Clydesdale farm, and they have a horse-drawn carriage. Excuse me? A horse-drawn carriage? Oh my gosh. And you take pictures with the Clydesdales. You can hold them for pictures, all this stuff. I sound like a complete horse girl right now. Like, you would think I've never been around horses. I'm actually sitting here with horses surrounding the area I'm in, and I'm still like completely geeking over the fact that I can hold a Clydesdale. Um, my next animal, actually, if I could choose, my next animal would either be another cow, maybe, or some sort of draft breed horse. Now, after the experiences I've had with my warm blood, I'm just thinking go extreme and just get a draft horse. Lazy, fairly calm, maybe, friendly, easygoing. Great. The only problem is they're hard on fences. So convincing my dad of that would be extremely hard. I'm not even gonna mention it at this point in time because of all the events that have occurred with my horses currently. And my mom would probably say no. My mom normally says no and then comes around, and my dad normally is the one that comes around the soonest, but I don't know. Anyway, we were joking, me and my fiance yesterday. He was like, "You're gonna bring the trailer with you to your wedding and be like, any of these for sale?" Because yeah, I would definitely do that. I was in a parade with percherons over the summer, and I was like telling my dad like, oh, "We need a percheron. We need a percheron. If you ever wants to sell a percheron, we need a percheron. We need a percheron." And I was like, "Absolutely not." So, boo. I don't know if it's gonna work out, but if anything goes wrong and I have to eventually sell a horse because I can't just have things taking all my money that aren't giving anything back. If I ever had to sell a horse, I'd probably replace it with a draft breed. I can't even imagine selling any of my horses because I've had them for 8+ years, 7+ years. So, they'd definitely be tough, but if it ever came down to that, maybe I would get a draft. I don't know. But yeah, these venues that I'm looking at are gorgeous, but for some reason, every time I look, it'll be like, the venue is $10,000. I'm like, okay, that is extremely reasonable, but you need to get your own photographer, your own caterer, your own cake, your own florist, your own this. You had to bring your own tables and chairs, your own tablecloths, your own. And then by the time you add it all up, I'm $40,000 deep in the trenches, and that's just not going to work for me. So we're going to see worst case scenario. Well, actually, not actually even a worst case scenario, but case scenario is if all else fails, I have it right here on the farm, not in the cow barn, but on the farm. I think that'd be amazing, great. That'd be a great thing for me. I wouldn't be disappointed. Because paying $15,000 to get married in somebody's cow barn somewhere else isn't ideal, but it's just like the scenery, the setting where you get married. It like overlooks the mountains, and it's beautiful. If you guys are interested, I'll keep you updated on the wedding planning process. Like I said, I'm looking for a barn, so hopefully this will work on. Okay, zapping here. Yeah, so put your questions, topic ideas in the comments. I'll talk about them. I love talking to you guys. I love talking to everybody, and I love talking in general, if you couldn't tell. So yeah, let me know if you have any suggestions. I'm open to anything. I'll start making a list of, if somebody comments a suggestion, I'll put it on a list and we'll talk about it. Like I said, this is going to be a new thing. If it works out, I'm going to continue doing it forever. But if it's something that, you guys aren't as interested in, I'll continue with my other videos that I make. So let me know. Thank you for joining the Udderly Insane podcast, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe.